Oh wait, fuck. This is my second time recording, someone interrupted me. Welcome to Higurashi When They Cry. Yeah, that. It's an anime horror visual novel, and it got an anime adaptation. Welcome to the world of Higurashi When They Cry. The Onikakushi arc will be opening, inviting you into this world. Don't play though, please, just enjoy life in Hinamizawa to the fullest. And I am going to. The difficulty is extremely high, but I hope you will enjoy the reward. Please do not lament. I will forgive you even if the world will not forgive you. Please do not lament. I will forgive you even if you will not forgive the world. So please tell me, what will it take for you to forgive me? By Frederica Burton-Caskell. This is a work of fiction. Any resemblance to actual persons or organizations is entirely coincidental. AD 1983, the summer is the 58th year of the Showa era. If I was going to be ripped apart anyways, having my body ripped apart would have been far better. I trusted her. No, I still trust her. Even in this very moment, I trust her. But I'm starting to realize I only wanted to trust her because I refused to accept the truth. It was as if I was trying to convince myself in such a silly, sobbing voice. And those tears making a mess of my face. That mechanical, repetitious sound finally stilled and everything fell silent. Only the cry of the cicadas remained, annoyingly loud. And yet, I felt as if I could still hear her voice. But that's not possible. She is no longer speaking. The only one crying is me. She never cried. Even when she repeated those words over and over, she never expressed any emotion because there was none to show. If she had no tears to shed for me, then I shouldn't need to shed any for her. Then why? This pain, my eyes getting moist, why was this happening? I still wanted to believe I hadn't been split apart. That's enough, right? Inside me, an inner voice whispered gently. My spirit had suffered enough. And countless times I had wavered over whether I should just throw the battered thing away. Except, I've stubbornly refused to do that, haven't I? I'd feel better if I just threw it away. Even knowing that, I chose to believe, didn't I? Only I can understand that painful struggle and appreciate it. Hey, me? I've tried more than enough. I'll acknowledge that much. So, isn't it alright to just take the easy way out? Besides, I'm not throwing it away. I'm leaving it behind, with her, in her face, like flowers by a grave. Now then, calm your nerves, and calm your tits. Even though you can't feel your right arm, just lift it up. Even though you can't feel your tits, just lift it up. And with every swing, forget a little more. That kindness made me happy. That adorable smile brought me joy. I liked petting your head. I loved how demure you were. Because this will be the last time. Because when I swing this down, I'll forget. This is my first and last bouquet for you. No, it's a fucking weapon. Perhaps I really did love you. Higurashi When They Cry. 7th expansion presents Welcome to Hinamizawa When They Cry. Achievement unlocked. Farewell. Somebody has been apologizing for a while now. Achievement go out of there. Okay. I wonder what she's apologizing for. It felt wrong to eavesdrop, so I tried to ignore it. It had been a while since I'd last went to the city. I only returned to attend the funeral of a relative. Even though I'd lived there until last month, I found the bustle of the city to be overwhelming. Those skyscrapers and the multi-lane roads, the melodious cacophony of the crosswalk, even the campaign speeches blaring in front of the station felt nostalgic. The place where I live now isn't nearly as lively. There's only the chirping of locusts and the babbling of brooks. And the cry of the Higurashi, the evening cicadas. Rather than making me feel lonely, that quietness had begun to instill a sense of serenity. There's nothing where I'm living now. I don't just mean there aren't any burger joints, there aren't even vending machines. No music stores, no restaurants, and no arcades. Even an ice cream parlor would be unlikely. The nearest town has some stuff like that, but it's an hour away by bike. But come to think of it, wasn't really a big deal. There were music stores and arcades and ice cream parlors, but it wasn't like I ever hung out of any of them. I lived in the city for 10 years and never once been to an ice cream parlor. I should have gone at least once. It's only now that I'm starting to regret that a little. Somebody is still apologizing. Who is she apologizing to? She's apologized so much, so just forgive her already. There's no reason anyone should ever need to apologize so much. I started to feel a bit annoyed at whoever was refusing to forgive her. No matter how bad the mistake, there's nothing that can't be forgiven. There's no such thing as an irreplaceable mistake. Irreparable. Irreplaceable. You just need to be more careful next time. Still, she's apologizing even now. Then, has she really done something that can't be fixed? I have no idea what she's done, but if it can't be fixed, then that's all the more reason to forgive her. No matter how much she apologizes, nothing will change. But even so, she keeps apologizing in such a heartbreaking voice. Hey you, the one she's apologizing to. Why don't you just go ahead and forgive her? She's apologizing in such a pathetic voice.
Keiichi, we're almost there. Wake up.
Oh, that was actually a pretty good voice for it. I was finally aroused from my nap by my father's prodding. It seemed the train had reached its final stop. We'd spent hours riding everything from the bullet train to the local routes. It was hard to believe that the landscape beyond the window in the city I was in half a day ago were in the same country. No, that they were even from the same era. From there, we'd take a car deeper into the mountains. Past where the dense forest encroaching on the mountain road suddenly opened up. There, where I live now, Hinamizawa. Even though we were approaching summer, the morning air still had a frigid bite, although in exchange you could fill your lungs up with the crisp, clean air. Flipping open the window, I was greeted with a verdant expanse. Nothing but trees. The neighboring house was far away on the other side, so I was probably the only one enjoying that view and that air. And that air. I filled my lungs with another deep breath. Since I started living in Hinamizawa, I learned that even air had its own taste. I quickly finished getting ready for school and headed downstairs for breakfast. What? My mother was the only one there. My father was nowhere to be seen. He was probably up working until the early morning. Dad had a rather unconventional job as a painter. It's such a laid-back profession. Get up when you want, sleep when you want, and work when you want. I was so jealous of that easygoing lifestyle. I even wrote for school that I wanted to be a painter when I grew up. Dad was ecstatic about that. It was just because it looked easy. I'd never tell him that, though. Mom laid breakfast out on the table. Seaweed, pickled vegetables, raw egg, and grilled salmon. Where's the fucking cereal? Mom was such a good cook, it was scary. A perfect, immaculate, ideal breakfast, without any cereal. Unlike my dad, who didn't even know the meaning of the word schedule, my mom never squandered any time or effort. She hummed a little tune as she brought over the miso soup. It seemed like she was in a good mood today. I'm so happy you've been waking up early since we moved here, Keiichi. If I don't wake up early, I won't have time to eat breakfast. I thought I was being cute, responding to a wisecrack after being praised for being good. Full bowl of rice, or will half be enough? Pile it on. First I savored the steaming hot rice with the seaweed. After that I covered it with the egg. Between bites of rice I enjoyed the crunch of the pickles. Not bad at all. Wait, when was there pickles? Excellent as usual. Watching me clean my plate, Mom gave me a warm smile. I'm so happy you haven't skipped breakfast ever since we moved here, Keiichi. I was not a morning person when we lived in the city. I slept right until the last minute before school and rarely ate breakfast. Boycotting the breakfast Mom made me each morning. That was probably the only way I could protest to being forced to attend cram school. I guess that's what you'd call my rebellious phase. I wouldn't so much as look at the breakfast she woke up early every day to make. If I could go back in time, I'd slap myself. Mindful of the time, Mom rushed me along with a wide grin. Isn't it about time to meet up with Reina-chan? Hurry, hurry. Mom really seemed to enjoy the fact that her son was going to school with a girl. Reina is one of my classmates. She really loves looking after people, coming to meet me every day without fail. The way I looked at it, a guy my age walking to school with a girl is just lame. But while keeping a classmate waiting for me every day wouldn't be very considerate. Seriously though, how long does Reina wait there for me every morning? Probably since like 5 a.m. Taking one last gulp of miso soup, I raced for the door. Please thank Reina-chan for the pickles. Come to think of it, those pickles weren't store-bought, were they? If I'd known that, I would have savored them a bit more. I don't know who's talking. Morning.
Keiichi-kun. Good morning.
Her cheerful greeting was as fresh as the morning itself. I don't know who's saying this one. Probably me. You're always so early. You should try sleeping in sometime.
If I sleep in, I'll keep you waiting.
She's so conscientious and such a good Persian. If that ever happens, I'll just leave you behind.
Keiichi-kun, you're so cold. I wait for you all the time.
I'll leave you in the dust, without looking back.
Why are you so mean? Why?
Raina had a slightly troubled look on her face. Toying with her was rather fun because of how quickly her mood changed. I'm kidding, I'd wait for you. With those words, Raina seemed to relax. Her face flushed bright red.
Thank you.
I'd wait forever until you came, Raina, no matter how long.
Forever?
Raina turned bright red, steam rising from her head as her brain turned into a kettle, and then tea came out of her ear into my teacup, and I took a sip, and it was oolong flavor. She's especially weak to this sort of talk. It's quite rare to find someone this fun to tease. Have you ever read a romance novel, Raina?
Huh? I haven't. Never read any before.
From that response, I gathered she was interested in them, but was too embarrassed to actually buy one. I couldn't imagine what would happen if she did read one. She'd probably turn red and pass out. Oh yeah, a message from Mom. She says thanks for the pickles.
It was nothing. You're welcome. How are they? Not too salty?
They weren't that salty. Actually, they had a pretty light flavor to them. It would have been fine to just be honest and say they were good, but apparently I couldn't be that forthright. I'd like to ask something before that. Were you the one who pickled them, Raina? Or was it your mom?
Huh? Why do you ask? Were they too salty?
Her attitude completely changed as she began to panic frantically. Was it you, Raina, or was it your mom?
Why are you asking me who made them? Why?
Depending on who made them, my opinion of them might change drastically. She counted frantically on her fingers, trying to remember the amount of salt she'd used to pickle them. It wasn't like I was trying to tease her, but I couldn't stop myself. Guys who take pleasure in this kind of thing are probably the worst, guys like me. Reina nervously opened and closed her mouth over and over, trying to muster a response.
It was me.
Delicious.
Huh?
Pretty good, just like the last ones. They went perfectly with the rice. Her face went bright red again. She was completely spacing out. It truly was a lot of fun to tease her. I pray that Reina never gets taken advantage of by some lowlife. Keep at it, Reina. I'll train you until you handle it like the average person. Or so I decided for myself. Let's go. If we keep Mion waiting, we'll never hear the end of it. Seeing as she just keeps spacing out otherwise, I called Reina back to reality so we can make our way to school. The strange, easily flustered girl is Rena Ryugu. I've only known her for about a month, but I've come to realize it's not just her name that's strange. It's her voice as well.
You fucking talking about my voice? Me-chan, good morning.
Coming up to the next rendezvous point, we saw another person waiting for us. Noticing us, she waved. Ah, finally, you two are late.
Usually you're the one who's late.
In sharp contrast to the diligent Reina, this one marched to the beat of her own drum. She's Mion Sonozaki. For what it's worth, she's our senior and head of the class.
Morning, Reina. And it's been a while, Kei-chan.
How many years? I was only off 2 days.
Ahaha. You don't say. You were so much cuter back then.
That's... Oh. Mion's gaze started at my chest and then dropped straight down, focusing on the point between my legs. Go on. She was saying it was my crotch that was cuter back then? I mean, yeah, it's fucking hideous now. Before you ask, just to be clear, I've never actually tried to show it to her. She'd just rip my pants off and take a look whenever it suited her. I've grown quite splendidly. You'd be surprised.
Not only is he bigger, but he has a little mustache now.
Who's talking? Being so engorged with energy every morning is quite a problem, though. I'll introduce you next time to be sure to greet him properly.
Don't say next time. Right now is just fine. How about letting the little guy get a breath of fresh morning air?
I don't think I've ever heard talk so dirty you could smell it fouling up the morning air before. Mion sure does act like an old man sometimes. Then I'll give her an old man voice. Gotcha! Time for the big reveal. Hope you don't regret it. Oh, that was me. Whoops. As my hand reached for my fly, Reina began to ramble in a near panic. Hey, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Red-faced and flustered, Reina tried to play dumb, but it was too obvious she knew exactly what we were talking about. How was it, seeing the... Oh. How was it, seeing the city again? Mion switched gears, dropping the dirty talk and changing the topic to something more befitting the pleasant morning. I only went for a funeral, I didn't have much time. So yeah, did you look for it? That thing I asked for? You're not listening at all. I just came back from a funeral. I didn't have any time to look around in toy stores. I don't know how I could do that in an old man voice. Toy stores and hobby shops are completely different, you know. It's really difficult to get Western stuff around here after all.
Is this about games again, Mi-chan?
Mion nodded proudly as Reina giggled. Yeah, I want a Kei-chan to bring me back a Westport catalog, you see. Westport was short for Western Imported Games. Using that abbreviation did make it sound pretty geeky. You can just get them to send you one in the mail, can't you? Well, I guess I have to now. I'm going to get another game full of hot action. This time I'd like a game that... Oh, neat. Mion is a board and card game enthusiast, and I hear she collected quite a lot of different ones. According to Reina, Mion's room has kind of become a museum for domestic and foreign games. If there's a game you think I'd understand, let me play too. Heh, of course. If Kei-chan's up for it, I should warn you though, we're pretty tough. Just what I want. I play all sorts of games. I don't intend to lose. I can't tell who's speaking. Whoa. Then we'll let you into the group this time, I guess. Bristling with joy, Reina looked back and forth between me and Mion. Mion gave her an affirmative wink and her expression perked up even further. I thought you boys preferred playing outside more, so I figured you wouldn't want to. Reina laughed happily. From such a friendly conversation, you wouldn't think I'd moved here less than a month ago. I understood that they did all they could to make a transfer student like me feel welcome, feel at home. Fuck, I can't read. I'll have to try harder to fit in, so they won't feel like they have to try to make me feel welcome. I felt like if I acted a bit more open than I usually am, it should probably be right about for this place. I'll just roll with it, whatever. Hinamizawa was a really small village. Not only was there only one school, but there was only one class. That class encompasses all different grades and ages. There are about 30 students at different levels, and they all study the same class. I'm told that long ago there used to be a bigger school building, and they had actual separate classes. However, it seems something happened that made it become a single class, and now it stayed that way out of tradition. I was shocked at first, but humans adapt pretty quickly. I've already gotten quite used to it. The sound of children playing started right from the morning. With such a lively mood, it felt more like a kindergarten than a proper school, not that that was a bad thing. Apparently he likes going to kindergarten. Mion, who had been walking in front of us up until then, suddenly let me take the lead. Right in front of the classroom door. So I was meant to slide the door open and enter the room first. Heh. Too bad I wasn't gonna fall for that again. To think you'd give up the lead here. You meant for this to be a test of my skills. Mion chuckled with a haughty smirk on her face.
What is it, you guys?
Step back, Reina. It's dangerous. She's here.
Huh? Then Satoko-chan is...
Who? What? Her name was Satoko Hojo. She was a disrespectful, impudent, bossy kid. The way she talks was annoying, but it would be immature to get worked up over just that. The real problem was this. Quite the obvious trap, a blackboard eraser wedged in the door. It's too obvious. Satoko! A haughty laugh came from beyond the door. Excellent, Kei-chan. I guess that means you win this round. No, this is Satoko we're talking about. I doubt this is it. After falling for such intricate traps since the day I transferred, I no longer let my guard down. Satoko liked to combine a variety of traps that were simply there to bait you into the main one, traps that relentlessly kept coming at you like a sadistic Rube Goldberg machine, and traps that look like girls but have penises. The list goes on. As well as being clever, they almost never misfire. When you least expect it, she strikes. No escape, no time to relax. By the looks of it, this eraser is normal. No rocks or anything in it. I took a pretty heavy hit from a blackboard eraser loaded with rocks on my first day. What the fuck is up at this place?
So then why don't you just open the door and let it drop?
That's what it is. That's what Satoko was after, making me focus my attention upwards, so as I lifted my hand to the door... Oh, there were thumbtacks stuck to the sliding door handle of tape, a frightening trap. A potent and terrifying trap, then just push it open without using the handle. Concealed by using the blackboard eraser. An impressive combination, Satoko, but in the end nothing more than the trivial machinations of a child. Assured of my victory, I threw the door open and stepped into the room. To get pelted with a fucking rake in the face. Yep. By the time I realized she had me hook, line, and sinker, it was already too late. I began to fall in an almost picturesque manner. Kei-chan, watch out! And... oh, I should probably... I need names, damn it. Instinctively reacting to Leon's shrill warning, I twisted my body in midair before I landed on the floor. Ow, ow, ow. An ink stone filled to the brim was placed right where I would have landed. I shuddered, imagining the situation had I landed square on it. And this is a little shit.
My, what do we have here? A fair morning to you, Keiji-san. Are we a lively one this morning?
Still sprawled in an awkward position, I was greeted by a shrieking voice. That was a step up from your usual trap, Sadako. Holy fuck, she looks like Satan.
I haven't the faintest idea what you mean. You're quite unlucky this morning.
You little... Ow. It seemed I'd inadvertently sprained my back a little when I'd landed. Better than landing on that inkstone. A small hand gently rubbed my head.
Pain, go away.
I'm gonna give him kind of the same voice, but for the more mumbly one. The small, dainty hand continued to gently stroke my head.
You didn't sprain your back or anything, did you? If you're ever like this, the pain disappears.
I thought about asking how rubbing my head would help my back, but I didn't. It's not so much about what you actually do, it's the thought that counts. Yeah, thanks, Rika-chan. The pain's going away now.
Yay! Rika-chan, good morning!
Good morning to you, Arena. Good morning. Good morning to you, Reina, and a good morning to all.
Rika-chan greeted us with an adorable little bow. It was infectious. Reina, Mion, and I all bowed back. You're such a good kid, Rika-chan. So much better than Sadako. I glared over in her direction. Sadako was whistling, while rather deliberately trying to avoid eye contact.
I'm the very model of a good girl.
A good girl wouldn't set those nasty traps.
Nothing but lies and slander. Exactly what proof are?
I picked up Sadako by the back of her collar. She looks like a misbehaved cat when I do this, but a cat wouldn't be setting traps. She's much harder to deal with. I'm sorry. Try saying that. If you won't say it, I cocked my index finger on my thumb, letting it tremble as I brought it closer to Sadako's forehead.
I'm against violence. You don't even have any proof.
Just so you know, my forehead flick really hurts. It can split plywood right in half.
Eeeeeh! Stop! Get away from me, you beast!
Don't say that in a way people misunderstand. A small hand tugged on the back of my shirt.
She's been lonely since you were gone for 2 days.
Rika-chan really is just so. How could I do anything more after being told that? I gently released my grip on Sadako, who at this point was on the verge of tears. She still had her eyes clamped shut as she braced herself for the forehead flick.
It doesn't bother me! You mustn't cry, Sadako. Keep on fighting, yeah.
Rika gently petted the head of her prankster friend. You would never guess those two are the same age. I think Sadako could learn a thing or a million from Rika-chan.
Next time, set an even more amazing trap.
Wait a minute! As she observed the scene, Rena's expression grew ecstatic as she began to swoon.
Ah! Oh, Sadako-chan is crying. So cute.
You can't take him home.
No, wait, that's not her.
You can't take him home.
Huh? But they're so cute.
You can't, no matter how cute they are.
But just for a bit, it's fine. It's fine.
Rena kept a cutesy face, even as outrageous ideas spewed from her mouth. According to Mion, Rena tries is ridiculously weak to cute things and always tries to take him home. Object or person.
Stealing is bad, but abducting people is even worse. Give it up.
Then I can just look. Just looking. That should be fine, right? Right?
Fucking hell. Reina swooned over Sadako's crying form. If a girl ever goes missing in Hinamizawa, I'll be forced to turn Reina into the authorities. Forgive me, Reina. I'll be sure to bring you care packages when they put you away.
The teacher's coming. Quickly, clean everything up. Sadako, that inkstone is yours, right?
Just from Mion's single statement, the entire mood of the room shifted back to normal. The ink stone was bad, but the thumbtacks stuck to the door handle were an even bigger problem. I pulled the tape off carefully, making sure not to skewer myself. Even though Sadako was the one who set it up, everyone had to pick up after her. By the time the teacher had entered the room, the bedlam from before had been neatly tidied up. Ahaha, we made it.
Ahaha, we made it in time.
Be gone! Rise, attention! Oh, Mion's giving him out. Mion gave out the morning commands.